Hello, everyone. My brain is not functioning quite right this morning. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Saturday? It's Saturday. I actually had no idea what day it was because I had set an alarm this last night so I could wake up because I wanted to stream in the morning, and I set the alarm to come on Friday. Yes, it is Saturday. Good morning, TV. How are you? Need to make sure I fix my alarm too while I'm thinking about it. I got some overflow. Oh, yeah, something different. I'm not doing too bad. I finally got some sleep. I have not been sleeping worth a darn the last, probably like 6 days almost. It's been rough. There we go. I have been struggling hard with getting a good night's sleep. I've had this problem lately where everything smells like smoke. So I've been I think I've been having a hard time sleeping with that because I wake up and it's just like, it smells like something's burning. And yeah, it's been really bad this last week. It's weird. I guess it's a real thing. What's it called? I just looked it up the other day. It's called phantoms, something phantom. Phantosmia? Phantomsmia? Yeah, anyway. I think that's what I've got. And even like this morning, I can still kind of have that lingering smell. Like I just walked in and inhaled someone's cigarette smoke for about 10 minutes. It's almost like it's burned into my nose. It's not cool. I do not like this. But I guess it is what it is. I've been reading online, and I've got one of those those neti pots where you like flush out your sinuses. Supposedly that is a a remedy, I guess. There is no like real fix for it. It's just it goes away eventually. But I'm gonna do whatever I can because yeah, it's this whole last week, like at one point I think I woke up thinking that something was like legitimately on fire. Like it was like, ugh, it was gross. But it is more of a, like for me, it's more like a cigarette smoke, not a, what do you want to call it? Not like the house is on fire. Oh, you got a CPAP machine? I've got one. Actually, my wife just got hers. In fact, you probably can still see my CPAP marks because I just woke up not that long ago. Yeah, it's life-changing, I tell you. I didn't realize how bad my sleep was until I got my sleep apnea, or my CPAP. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I would do that, and I guess I wouldn't notice. It would be like I was awake, and I guess I'd wake up and I'd be like, I felt like I was out of breath. It is a very much a trial and error type thing. It is hard. So my machine is a little odd. 83 times an hour. Holy cow. Yeah, mine was not that high. Oh, actually, I think mine was, yeah, they were, when I took mine, I think mine was like, might have been, I don't even know if it was 15 times an hour. I was right on the borderline. But I think on the night that I took my sleep study, I was way lower than normal. Yeah, what res? I guess the other night when I did mine, I was pretty bad. Yeah, 55. That's pretty high. Oh, come on. Let's see what mine is. Oh, that's my Face ID. Does it work? Nope. Yeah, sleep apnea is a serious deal, and it took me about, I want to say it was a couple of weeks after I got mine before I was really able to like notice that I was sleeping better. But since I've gotten it, I do sleep significantly better. It is hard to get it to seal properly. I had to struggle with mine. Like when they measured mine, they're like, oh, it doesn't need to be super tight. And I'm like, oh, yes, it does. It's got to be really, really tight. And yeah, it's a struggle. And I found when I did mine, it was really just I did it while I was awake. I just laid there and one Saturday, and I'd turn it on and get it so that it's off, so it's really blowing air, and then just kind of keep figuring out how tight it needs to be, just like without putting it on my head, just keep pushing it on. And then when I figured out roughly where I thought it was going to be, I set the straps and then just a little bit tighter, and that seemed to help. But I don't know. My wife got one that goes in her nose, and I thought, oh, that might be good because it's a lot smaller. But now she's getting like sores on the edges of her nose. Yeah, I do too. I have the full face mask. I've got the what is it? Oh, I just closed my window. I've got the F20. I think it's an F20 CPAP mask. This is what mine looks like. This guy right there. The F20 full-size mask. I just actually bought a new one not that long ago. Because the one I had before, I think I got a tear in it. I think I tore it when I was washing it up here in the corner. And so it didn't actually leak, but it didn't fit right on my face. So it actually was like at an angle, and the hard plastic was rubbing against my face, and it was uncomfortable. It's insane that these things are $120. Ugh. I feel like there's gotta be a way to buy cheaper ones. Yeah, right. Yeah, it is something. It is something, I tell you. But I also tell everybody, it's like, if you don't sleep well, try it. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I thought I was just getting to the point where I had to sleep like 8.5 hours, 9 hours to get a decent amount of sleep and not be just exhausted during the day. And turns out no, with a CPAP, I can just still sleep my about 6 hours and I'm good. And that's what it was. It was because I kept waking up. Oh well. It's good times. All right, I'm going to cut back over and do 5 hours a long time. Yeah, and that's the way I typically am. I'm like a 5 to 6 hours most nights. Now, last night I actually slept in because I haven't slept well, and I slept almost 8 hours. And so I feel pretty good this morning. I was not prepared to feel very good, I guess. I was, I don't know, because I've just been that way, I guess, every day. So I was kind of like, I don't know. I woke up and I'm like, this feels wrong, you know? Oops, what did I click on? I've got about 10 projects open. I just got done working through my, my online courses I've been taking. This was finals week, so I spent, oh god, like, that was the last 2 days essentially catching up and figuring out my math so I could take my math final. Ugh, I hate that. I hate math so much. Actually, yeah, I want to go check out that, if I'm thinking about it, github.com, because I was doing the documentation stuff. What's making me do online courses? Mostly because I want to. I never actually completed my bachelor's degree, so I'm going to finish that. And I live very remote, so going back to university, which I tried, doesn't work. And so I was kind of having a brain fart here. I was trying to do a couple different things where I was doing like a couple days a week, and it just wasn't working out. And so I found out that I can do Colorado State University online, and so I started doing that, got all my stuff transferred, and I'm about a year and a half into it now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that I have to go take that's very like boilerplate computer science stuff. But I had a lot of math classes that I needed to knock out too, and so that's what I'm finishing now because I absolutely hate math. I've got one left, and it starts on Monday, and then I get to go do all the boring, low level, comp sci stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, you'll get bored of the technical content. Yeah, absolutely. That's the struggle I had. I took what is it? It was an introductory. It's like the prerequisite for all the classes course with this math class this year, and it was very hard to follow. Oh, thanks for the follows. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher that name. Sephiros. Yeah, that is kind of a weird way to introduce yourself. But yeah, so it oh, that was weird. Everything just blinked one message for a second there on my chat. That was odd. So yeah, I'm gonna struggle with that a little bit. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I told myself that I needed to buy a new vehicle, and I'm like, I'm not gonna buy one until I finish school. That's how I'm gonna like motivate myself to do it. And we'll see how it goes. Ooh, I want to check something. I was dinking around with my follower thing, and hey, it worked. So now Sephiros shows up as a latest follower and not James Moore, even though he followed a very long time ago. Okay, well that's good. I think I figured out why it doesn't work. It only updates when I'm actually streaming. But I guess to answer your question, Sephiros, you'd have to be a little more specific on what I think about it. I mean, I don't have strong opinions one way or the other, I guess, if that's your question. I quit college 2 in the UK 2 weeks before the end of the course. College there isn't for a degree. I don't know why I put 2 after college. It's college the second. It's the sequel. Yeah, well, and yeah, I think the part of the thing, for me, I'm doing it mostly as it's something that I tried and I didn't necessarily succeed, and I want to be able to say I did it. I have a problem, like, especially here in the States, where it's like, there's a lot of things that depend on your degree or your, like, certifications. Like, oh, well, you're not good enough because you're not a graduated engineer. We have that where I work. There's this mentality that it's like, if you're an engineer, you're worth more. Shouldn't be able to do it after 25 years as a developer. But if I get the wrong school and disagree with the content, I'm in trouble. Yes. Right, that is hard. That's why I enjoy, that's kind of why I like doing CSU Global, because it's also very fast. Every semester, it's trimesters, so it happens pretty rapid fire. Now I've only taken one technical course, and it was kind of introductory, so it was I guess, but it wasn't terrible. I will say that it wasn't terrible. They do focus on, at least on these courses, what I felt to be the right things to focus on, because the instructor was very upfront. He's like, if you're going into like a development class or career, you're not going to get to develop 100% of the time. Like, that's unrealistic. He's like, but you are going to have to be able to like write. So we had to write papers, you know. I'm like, okay, this is all right. They were technical papers. And so I kind of appreciated that a little bit, but yeah, the whole, like, you're worth more because you're an engineer versus, you know, anybody else, I think is kind of dumb. And I've had the privilege of making that statement to my supervisor more than once. Because it is a bit silly. How did I get... I thought there was a button here to click to go to... Oh, GitHub pages. Right there. Because these are still broken. No, they're not broken. They're broken in the sense that they're still test. I wanted to change that theme and I couldn't get the theme to change. Okay, so my documents work. That's all I care about. Let's see. I started looking at... I gotta figure out where I'm at. There we go. I was kind of architecting this before I went to bed last night, and I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. I want to be able to... Big picture goal. So I have a bunch of these, if I can pull it up, I got these little RFID stickers that I use around the house for different things for on my phone. Like I have one that controls the lights in my office. You know, if I come over here and figure out where the sticker's at, I can tap it with my phone and it'll change the light brightness, maybe. Oh, failed demo. I think I missed it. Because my lights are dimmable and there it goes. Now it's gonna go super bright. Maybe. Oh god, there it is. It works. Oh, it's so bright. Okay, turn it off. Turn it down. Turn it down. It hurts. There we go. Yeah. Do it. Do it live. So anyway, I have these kinds of things all over the place. I have a couple that start some music on my Echoes. I have one that's right beside the door that just turns off all the smart lights in the house because the kids have some in their rooms. And they work great. They're phenomenal. The thing that I wish I could do is I wish they would work like on my wife's phone without having to go and set up all the little, because they're just automations in iPhone. And iOS, the shortcuts, I think is what they are. And so I was thinking, well, I could make those things go to just like a URL, like a web API. And I'm like, well, what if I could do that? What if I could tap it, your phone goes to an API, and the tag itself, something physical, has all the stuff that I need to trigger one of those things. And it doesn't matter who taps it then. In my household, I guess if somebody breaks into my house and taps it, wants to screw with all my lights, I guess that's fine. But so I thought, well, why couldn't I do that? Because I have Homebridge that I use, and I have a website that I set up that actually allows me to create like the Amazon automations. So my thought was, well, I could very easily build that. And I was like, well, I could build a little API and maybe a little web page that triggers that API. So I think that's how I'm going to tackle things. So I'm kind of working towards that ultimate goal. And I've been building these Python scripts, and I can have those Python scripts run continuously and be listening for one of those events. So I was looking at AWS free tier. It's not message queue, but it's kind of like a messaging queue. I'm not gonna find it now. It's called like always free SQS. That's what it is. Yeah, because I can get like 1 million transactions every month, which is well beyond what I'm ever gonna do, hopefully. Simple queue. Yeah, it's not really like traditional message queuing like RabbitMQ or ActionMQ, AMQ, whatever. Anyway, any of those are the ones that I've typically used. So I thought, well, if I set that up to be my broker, you know, my first in, first out queue, and then I can just interface with that, so my scripts listen to that and just build the payloads that go across it, then I can keep some of the stuff local that needs to be local, and I can still, then I should be able to use things like the little RFID tags, and, you know, actually maybe utilize my virtual dedicated server that's just sitting there idle right now. So that's kind of the big picture goal here. Excuse me. I need to actually go watch some of their read some of their documentation, which it looks like is mostly just videos, which kind of sucks. Because I have an AWS account, and I've never considered using one of their services because I don't know, reasons. I don't know. I use some of their S3 storage, or is it S3? No, it's not S3. Is it Glacier? Amazon Glacier? Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that things are videos, but there's times like I want to read it. I am a visual learner, but sometimes I have to read it also. Like I have to do both. And I don't know. I just need to, because with I read it, I can go back and reread sections very easily. Right. That's exactly it. It's like it needs to be, yeah, it needs to be concise. It has to be something I can focus on. And it's hard for me to like scroll back and watch it on a video. And I always think, because a lot of times when I'm reading this kind of documentation, I'm doing it on my phone. I don't hardly ever do it on my computer. You know, I've got like 10 minutes. I want to go read something. Like, I'm going to go read this. Like, well, if it's a video, scrolling around on a phone is terrible. And I end up getting frustrated because I can't just go back like 2 minutes and be like, hey, he just said something. I need to go back and see it again. Like if I read it, I can just scroll back up and like, what does that say? And I can like look at it, stare at it, like that deer in the headlights. Like, what is that saying? So, and yeah, Amazon, I think I use AWS Glacier. Yeah, Glacier storage. This is what I use. I have my backups going up here to Glacier, or at least, well, they haven't been updated in a long time. But they're kind of like my last ditch effort of storage, because it's super cheap. What is it? 2 cents per gigabyte for the first 50 terabytes. So I'm using up, it may not even be a terabyte of data. So I do use this, or I have used this in the past. I have a couple buckets out there that sit, that are things like pictures and stuff like that that are important to me, that I don't want to lose, that are part of my backup strategy. Okay, so let's see. That's right, I was trying to do documentation too. Look at me go. And I have a list of things that I've been working on. And part of having that messaging queue is I can also send things back. So in my mind, I'm thinking I've got a job, and maybe I have a web app that I've built that I can log into, press a button, and it's going to trigger an event of some kind, whether that's, I don't know, could be anything. But those jobs then can send messages back, so I could get like a real-time response that something is happening or something has happened, like it's finished or failed or whatever. So I got some big ideas, and I probably should start writing those down. I'll probably start putting them in here as I kind of get some of the technical details figured out. So my click doesn't happen. There we go. Let's see. I think I also want to configure. Oh, that's right. I want to go back. I need to finish this one. This one is kind of I was going to say in progress. Oh, no. Gee, Merry Christmas. Progress. I think I want to put them, I want to split them out. I want to organize things a little bit better, because right now they're all just kind of dumped into one large script. I don't want that. I want them to be in their own scripts so that they can be more easily managed, I guess. Actually, let's do that. Let's just do that and get that started. What's the right way to do multiple Python scripts? I hate typing best way to split Python into multiple files. I hate asking these questions. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to decide, because I think I still am going to have just like one entry point. Everything's an object, yeah. So I could actually I could distribute them into classes. I never thought about refactoring them to be classes. I'm using the import function. That's an interesting idea. I don't know why I never considered that, because I guess in my mind, Python is still just scripts, right? That's just doing splits. Yeah, so I guess you just do an import and that's all it is, right? Yeah, so you just import. And you can only import specific functions if you want. Yeah, I knew that. Use test.py, and so it just says import that. How do you do it when it's in subfolders? That's also a thing. Well, I won't do that for now. I'm going to do it just as one. From test, import test func, test func. Yeah, now that this... So it doesn't even have to necessarily be a class, because I can just do this. I have my functions defined, and it's just going to be that dot and then func name. I like that. That'll be good enough. That's a good, simple midway point. So let's take, we'll create a new one. We'll call it Trello.py. This one. Let's close all these other ones because the Trello.md confused me. And then we'll take all of that, cut it out. Oh, we'll have fun with that. Take it easy. Let's see. I need to import a few things. Requests, JSON. OS. All right, so now okay, so if we're in here, then I will say import Trello. Maybe I should rename it. We're gonna rename this to be Trello Automations. All right, so there's that. Oh, there we go. Fix itself. Cool. Trello automations reset daily chores list. Okay, so now let's test it. Let's bring up my Trello board, which is right here. Let's see, chores. That's the one I mess with. We'll mark a couple of these as done. Actually, I'll mark a whole bunch of them done because I want to see how long it takes to do all the things. Well, they all dance when you get them all done. These all need to be revamped anyway, now that I got a robot doing some of the vacuuming. Alright, so now we've got that. Oh, my automation, my auto hotkey stuff isn't working because my PC crashed. That's right. All right, my PC didn't crash. We lost power yesterday. Let's run shell startup. And let's create a shortcut there. Which I got an invalid hotkey, line 22. Oh, we'll just comment this one out because I'm not. That's right. I was testing out building one. All right. Whoops. Reload. Oh, and line 27 also. It is a bad hotkey. I've got it built wrong. There we go. Nicely done. What? Attempt to launch a failed attempt to launch a program. Oh. Oh yeah, because I forgot I've set this one up as I share them across home and work. All right, we'll fix that first. Okay, I'm actually going to copy this and put it here because I need to documents auto hotkey. No, because it's all because it's all in OneDrive. That's part of the problem. It's my inbox. Oh, I put that in. No, that's wrong. I want my own repositories. Auto hotkey scripts. There we go. And I've got a main and MPPD. So let's go code. Let's get this. Git rm personal hotkeys and then git clone. Oops. So now I've got, oh crap. That might be all right. Auto hotkey scripts. Okay, so now let's go run shell startup. Let's get rid of that shortcut. Man, I am just not doing smart things. All right, create a shortcut here. There we go. Now let's run that one. I do this and it works. Well, let's try this. Okay, that one breaks. I don't have that tab open anymore, do I? Balls. Oh, no, I have the same one on here. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was using and it's gone. We'll just say open folder. Now I'm trying to decide. I got a lot of code in here that doesn't need to be here anymore, like all these comments. let's pull this up. Let's pull up auto hotkey Windows Spy. It's Windows terminal.exe. That's probably not gonna work. Just exit all of those and restart it. Okay, so actions Windows terminal.exe. I don't know where that's at. So Windows terminal. That's not what I want. Create a shortcut? No. Right, follow the mouse. ahkey.exe. Oh, I didn't put that in front of it. Probably need to do that. ahk.exe. Windows terminal. Reload. Poop. So where on earth is terminal located? Let's open JSON file. Well, that's not very helpful, is it? It's not, is it? It's not in my OneDrive folder, is it? Yeah, no, there's nothing there. Program files, Windows terminal. Windows terminal.exe, yeah. That should be pretty much it, right? Let's see, program start. What's the first one? It's title. So how do I figure out what it is if it's not that? So what's the command to start Windows terminal? Maybe that's what I need. Terminal, Windows 11. WT? Maybe it's because it's a shortcut? That one seems too easy. But what do I know? Ha! That time it worked. So I close it. There we go. Now it works. Brilliant. All right, move that over there. I'm gonna need it again later, I'm sure. What was I? Oh, that's right. I was testing. That's why I wanted to do this. Source. Oops. Okay, I want to say personal automations. It should say, all right, pass a parameter, Trello reset. Let's see. So on line 103, line 72, import script Trello automations, that's Trello automations, module error, no module named, script Trello automations. There it goes. It was just the auto thingy was dumb. Oh, that zoom is really high. No wonder. I was like, everything seems really big here. Very nice. All right, so that worked perfectly. Perfectly. Okay, I'm going to put a comment that says import the Trello automation py script. Script. Import the script. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here with the coffee scripts then. Let's go ahead and create that script. Café. Coffee automations, I love it. All right, I need to import OS, gspread. I also need to import that one. And then here, if it's the coffee spreadsheet, I'm going to say import the coffee automations.py. COFFEE automations.py as, oops, just that as coffee automations. And then insert. All right, so let's delete that. There we go. Let's delete these. Oh, that's right. I got to do this to here. And that there. And then we'll have to import it again, because I only import it when the command is necessary. There we go. So now I've got that. And I think I've got all this stuff ready to go. I need to work on the actual coffee spreadsheet now. Let's see. What do we got? What have we got? What's going on with the music here? This one's lame. Skip it. Alright, so now this script here, let's polish this up a little bit. I think what I need to do I'm going to think about this a little bit. I'm going to... I don't want to have to write the help document every time that I do it. Every time I add a new automation. I believe. I'm thinking about this. How I'm going to make it work. Oh, I don't have logger updated here. I need to import the logging stuff. If I pass the logging, excuse me, into a script, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna add logger. And then I'm going to add logger. And then into each one of these scripts, after the key, I'll pass in the logger here. There we go. Later. So now I've got all that in there. So I'll get rid of these comments. Those are no longer required. I want to have a method so if I run the scripts individually, it's kind of configures some stuff for me, I think. I'm going to put a note here and be like, create main function that will update the automation help display text file. And any other configuration stuff, maybe? Question mark. Because I don't know what I want to do yet. Let's see. I can pull up. I got a dry eye. Oh, I want sheets anyway. Sheets. Oh, sheets. Oh, I really did like reset this, didn't I? Okay. Trying to hook up this to my actual coffee spreadsheet and I can't find. All right, so I got work coffee spreadsheet. Got a graph on it. That doesn't really matter. I only need to insert into 2 fields. And then payments is just got, okay, so let's update those. So charges go to the first worksheet. Let's see. So it's the amount, it's the date today, and amount. And so that will just append to there, correct? And then here it's going to be payments is person amount. Let's change this. And then the date. If I remember right, there was something funky with the data that was still not quite right. Let me back out here to the test one. It puts a quote around it. So we'll test it because I'm actually changing it around. And when I go, excuse me, to the automation, it goes to worksheet 1. It appends it, and there we go. All right, bring up my terminal window. And it's gonna be, let's start with coffee insert charge. And the charge is just an amount, so we'll say 55.55. Okay, so when I put it in, still getting that weird character at the beginning. So let me do it on this one anyway. So I'm gonna run this again, except I'm gonna say, call this date string is equal to this. Oops. And then print date string. Get back to, gotta get used to using my things. So yeah, why is that doing that then? Oh, what? Nope. Okay, so let me put that there. Date string. They all have a tick in front of them. Huh, so why do they have that? So it says a pending charge to the spreadsheet. That's right. So I think this library is jacked up. Let's look up gspread. Gspread append in cell. We'll just do that. I don't want to do that. I want to open a new tab. Because I'm saying append row in the range. GitHub. Issues. Look, there's issues. Gspread depends on Google Auth. You see disambiguous filing headers. Add missing types. Specific exception. Let's do a search for character. It's down there. Let me take a look. Update a single cell. Update a range of cells using the top left corner address. Open a spreadsheet, sharing a spreadsheet. Append. Oh, the docs don't even have append row on here. API reference, top level. Last update time, name, reorder. Okay, so adds a row to the worksheet and populates it with values, widens the worksheet if there are more values to add. Determines how the input data should be interpreted. Determines how the input data should be. There's all kinds of options here. It's not that one, so oops, there we go. So I want it to be user entered. Value input, because it says it uses raw by default. The values user entered will not be parsed and be stored as is. So I want to change it to user entered. That's what I want to change it to. We'll do this. Make this smaller. Go back to the half screen. Needs to be user entered, so value input options. Options is equal to user entered. Let's give that one a go. Let's pull up my spreadsheet and my terminal. Ooh, what's the problem here? Value input options. Oh, I put an S. It's not options, it's just input option. Option. There we go. Now it's formatted correctly, so I can delete these rows. I need to actually delete those rows completely. And this one. Okay, excellent. I need to do that on this one too. Gotta put a space. Gotta put a space. There it is. All right. So we got that. We've got... Let's go to the automations. Let's see what's page it's pulling up or what's... Okay, so that's the UR or the ID of the spreadsheet. So if I come back here and I pick up the work coffee spreadsheet, which is currently empty, or, well, not really, but it will be. So now I'm going to change that to, I'm going to just create it as a variable up here. I'm going to say coffee spreadsheet ID. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we go. All right, now we're gonna see if it works. Make sure it works here when I do this. What am I doing? I'm inserting a charge. So that should be correct. Oh, I didn't authorize it for that spreadsheet. That's right, I gotta share it. I gotta do that. Let me pull it over here. I gotta remember how I did that. No. I gotta figure out how I shared it. I need to take screenshots. This goes in my documentation. Sheets. Automation test is shared. That's right. I just do a share. All right. Docs. Let's create one here. Call it coffee automations.md. Use good words. With the account you created. Whatever you call this thing. Google Cloud. Now I've got this email account that I'm not showing on stream for once. So yeah, I have to just paste it in editor. And now it's shared and it's automated. Now let's see if it loads. Well, it did it, but it didn't insert it in the right place. So why did it do that? Let's try it again and see what happens. Well, it appends it correctly at least. I mean, but I wonder why it chose to go there instead of there. Well, if I go like this, let me delete all that out. Now let's run it. Let's see if it adds it to the left side. No, it doesn't. Weird. Okay, let's look at the append. Table range, the A1 notation for a range to search for logical data. Values are appended after the last row in the example. For example, A1 or B2 to D4 of a range to search for a logical table of data. Values are appended after the last row of the table. So if I say A1 to A2, table range, let's try it. Table range, A1, A2. There, that worked. So now I've got total payments. Oh wait, oh, hang on. Oh, because those are just totals. I got it. Ooh, welcome back. I'm sorry for your house cleaning duties. I actually we'll have to quit soon to do the same. I've got, we're gonna put some lights out around our landscaping today, and I've got it's the kind of lights that they're like, they stick up out of the ground, but you bury the wire. So I've got to do that today and clean up some leaves, and maybe I can get to clean in my garage, hopefully. Kind of excited about that one. I need my garage cleaned out really badly. Okay, so that's there. So that works as expected. And payments, I'll define the range for that. A1. What did A1, B2? Ooh, that's gonna be fun. There is nothing wrong with having a little motivation to get your stuff going. Sins of the Solar Empire. I feel like I know this game. Solar Empire 2. Let's go look this up. Oh, okay. Oh, I recognize it. I was like, why do I know what this is? Yeah, God, this game looks cool. Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun. We used to have a couple of friends come over on Sundays, and we would play games, mostly board games, but sometimes we do other stuff. We need to get back into doing that. Just the having people over kind of thing, being somewhat social. Oh, I want to run this again. That's right, because I changed that script. Okay, still works as expected. Excellent. A1 to C1. Here we go. now we're going to change this to coffee person payment. And what is a coffee person payment action? Ooh, that's hard to say. Expect I need a name and an amount. And it should be name and then amount. So we're going to say Steve and $20. What did I break? Oh, it's because I copied the wrong. Oops. Oopsies. One more time. Steve, $20. Nice. And that updated the total paid. Excellent. So now my very simple spreadsheets are good to go. I need one now that's going to read that script value is what I need to do now. But actually I don't need to have that right now because I don't have a way of doing anything with it. So I'll wait on that part. I will add it as a to-do inside the script. And I'm, oops, to-do. Add functionality to read the current balance, and when it is at or near negative, prepare or maybe push alert with email text to send. I don't want to send the email automatically because I use my work email, so I'll have to get the text so that I can just dump it into the email. Because I can't, unfortunately, I cannot automate my work email. Well, not using this script, I can't. I actually can do it at work because I do a lot of email automation at work. Okay. So where do we sit now? So I've got that. I've got the script ready. It works. I can close some of this documentation up. So I don't think I need it. No, I got that figured out. I got that one working. I will need to get my account for this stuff realized, but I'm not ready to use it yet. Especially because I gotta go watch those stupid videos to figure out how to use it properly. So I won't do that. Let's see. So I got my pages separated out. I got my log file that's seems to be working correctly. Close that. Don't want any of that stuff. I do want to have the display help get updated, but I don't quite know what that's going to look like yet. Oh boy. All right, so now I think, am I ready to start building the front end? At least enough. I've got my basic automations created. So what's that going to look like? Let's think about that. If I build an app, it's going to be a web page that will display essentially a list of options that I want to, of commands that I would send it. Yeah, I'll send the commands. Look like buttons essentially. And then they will send to the message queue, where this thing will be listening to the message queue. So until I'm ready to actually read up on this documentate. Do they have documentation? Resources? Developer guide. That's what I want. Getting started. Receive and delete a message. Open the console. Java examples. Blah. Sending a message from a VPC. In this section, you'll learn how to construct Amazon SQS endpoints, construct an endpoint, make post requests, and interpret the response. Follow an example of an endpoint that makes a request to create a queue. So, okay, so it's just a very simple, it's all REST. That's actually kind of nice. This HTTP post request sends a message to the queue. Okay. Interpreted an SQS API response. With AWS. Oh, I don't want to use the AWS protocol. Mm-hmm. Best practices. Sending a message from a VPC. Let's see. This is all from an Amazon service. Okay, I'm just gonna we're just gonna Google it, to heck with it. Send a message to Amazon SQS C#. Hey, look, they have a library. So create the client. Yep. Okay, so SQS client, send message async. Okay, that's fine. Delete all messages from a queue. Receive a message. Looks very similar to using RabbitMQ. It's just receive a message. Wait time could also request attributes and visibility timeouts. So they have a NuGet package. That's kind of nice. All right, so that's the .NET. Let's go look at my Python library. Get message from Amazon SQS Python. Why is this? Oh, but I thought it said beta, and I'm like, why is this beta? No, it's not. It's Boto. I can read. Okay, so I get the queue URL, create an SQS client. This Python example shows how to send and receive delete messages from the queue. Receive and delete a message. Do I have to receive and delete it? So no, that sends the message. Receive. The example below shows for receiving a message and deleting a message. So I get the message, delete receive messages from the queue. Oh yeah, so I do have to delete it. I guess it's the same with other messaging systems. I just think of them calling them acknowledged, right? All right. So we're gonna do this. I need to figure out what my AWS stuff is so I can create the queue. AWS. I might be jumping the gun on this. Oh, I can't do that because ad blocker's on. Let's sign in. Maybe it's this one. Crap, my email address needs to be verified. Of course it does. Nope, still no. Did I send it to the right email address? Maybe not. Sometimes my email is very slow. All right, well, I can skip and continue signing in. Skip for now. That's fine. Oh, I got in. Woohoo! We'll close my email. I'll worry about that later. Next, done. Stop giving me all the tutorial stuff. I probably should read it, but I'm not going to. All right, so can I create a queue? Oh, look at this. It's going to let me just create a queue. Standard info. I don't know if it really matters. First in, first out delivery. Sure. Oh, there's a lot of options to create this. Wow, there's a lot of options. All right, I'm not doing that. There's just too much to me to get drafted into. We'll just wait. I have my account set up. I'll figure out my email. We'll worry about that later. In the meantime, let's pull this up. Let's see. I'm going to create, in the end, I'm going to have two .NET projects, I think. A web app and an API that will handle the different requests, I believe. Because the web app is just going to be really a fancy, or an interface for me to do it, manage it from my phone. That's going to be the idea here, I believe. Ah, a smoke smell. Love it. Love it. So we're gonna have inside a source. I'm gonna create a new folder here called apps. And I didn't like that one either. Edit. Let's see if I can fix my automation, my hotkeys. All right, so it doesn't like that. Let's try that. Reload. Still doesn't like it. Windows Spy again. Yeah, that's dev environment. Dev env. That's right. I must have to put the path in. All right, program files. It's like Common 7, IDE, ENUS. Nope. Open file location. There it is. It is an IDE. I was just looking for something else. All right, now let's close this. Reload the script. Yeah. And if I go like this and I hit that, it brings it up. Yeah. All right. Create new project. Do I want to make it a Blazor app? Could it be a WebAssembly app? I think it could be. I've never done a Blazor WebAssembly app before. So Blazor web app, a project template for creating a Blazor web app that supports both server-side rendering and client interactivity. This template can be used for web apps with, which one do I pick? What are my other choices? I could really hate myself and make it an Angular app. But I think it could be that. And it's optionally hosted by an ASP.NET Core app. This template does not have any content in it. Trying to think if there's any downside to doing it this way. Actually, if there is, I'll just recreate it. So why does it matter? I'll use a template one though. Automation, source, apps, and we'll create a new folder here and call it Blazor app. And we'll call this one automations front end. Oops, capital END. Next. That's what I got. Authentication type, individual accounts. Interactive renderer mode. I think I want it to be WebAssembly. Because it's all it is going to do is do the authentication and interact with an API. And the API will have all the server side stuff. So I think that's what I want to do. All right, here we go. I've never done this one before. This will be interesting. Yeah, I created 2 projects. Damn it, now I don't know what I'm doing. Why is it blinking? Don't blink. All right, so if I run, I'm just gonna run it, see what it looks like. It is fun to do things new. It is kind of nice. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be like, oh, I kind of get this. This is cool, and I'm gonna spend the next, every waking moment reading up to see what I'm doing and how to do it properly. This component is loading weather. Cool. Log in to use an account to use another service. Register, log in. All right, I mean, this looks like a regular basic app. So this app must be the one that's actually, oh, that's got the DB context. So maybe it's got the identity user. That's the one thing I've never done in .NET Core is the authentication stuff. I've never understood that. I've used it once, and I got it to do the minimum that I needed it to do, and that's as far as I went with it. Okay, so we've got, well, there are pages. All right, so what are these different? So there's counter here. All right, so we're gonna say client. I need to figure out what is where. I just don't know. Counter. Click me client. Okay, so that's kind of what I expected. Okay, so I don't have an account, so I'm going to register. There is no external authentication services configured. That's fine. See this article about setting up this ASP.application to support logging in via external services. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Don't like using external services if I don't have to. Well, before I do that, let's go back here and see. So there's redirect to login. Yep. So there are account pages. Login with 2-factor, sweet. I want that too. Manage. All right, I need to create an account, I guess. Layout. I'm gonna call this one about not front end or not client. No, this is when it says front end client. All right, run it. We'll create an account. The good old tester about not client. Click me client. When I'm doing auth, use auth 0, so all I have to do is wire it up rather than implement it. Yeah, that makes sense. Most of the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis uses Active Directory authentication, so it's all pass-through. So I don't ever have to worry about actual authentication because it's all done with Active Directory. It verifies who you're logged in as. So it's one of those things. I guess I took a class one time where we did it, but I never really got the hang of it. Password is tester. Register. Oh man, I gotta actually have a good password. Dang it. Just realized it's probably not going to work because I didn't actually set up a database. Yeah, database and operation failed because I just had that thought. I don't have an identity schema created in my components. Yep, ASP.NET roles, ASP.NET users. I used to use the ASP.NET roles and users stuff a long time ago in like .NET 2.0 days, but never for actually like authentication. It was always using that to manage access to different resources in the old ASP.NET forms. Okay, so I need to configure a database provider. Program. It doesn't have, where's the app settings? Let's see. I'm surprised that didn't work, local DB, because I thought that that was installed by default. Maybe not. Application scheme, X options mode. Stop popping up. I like to use my mouse to see where I'm at. So add the connection strings. Yep, default connection not found. So by default, it has SQL Server configured. I have a SQL Server on the network. Can't remember what it's called though. Maybe it's 01. All right, it's online. That's good. I had power go out yesterday, like noon, and I had a lot of stuff stayed running. Like my battery backup stuff worked pretty well, but I had a lot of stuff that didn't come back on after the power outage. It was a little weird. So let's go here. We'll say SQL01. I can keep that name. I don't really care. Trusted connection should be fine because I can just create it from here. Oh yeah, get your UPS situation sorted. Yep. Yeah, I actually realized yesterday. Yeah, my computer's on all the time. But the problem is my computer is not on the UPS, and I need to remedy that. I do have a couple of servers in my back closet. My UPS sits right behind me over there, and that all works pretty slick. I mean, none of it's super important. It's things like my NAS, and a couple things that I want to have some kind of surge protection on, like my router, my wireless access point. But yeah, my PC is not actually on it, and I realized yesterday when it had gone down. Actually, it went down. It was in the middle of taking my math final. I was about halfway through. I had gone upstairs to get something to drink, and as I was trying to fill up my cup in my fridge with water, it died, or the lights went out, I guess. And I'm like, what the heck? And then I came down here and everything was off, and I was like, I need to figure out how to tie the outlets on my wall into my UPS. So I think I know how I would do it pretty easily. I just need to take the time and, shut off power so I can do it. But yeah, it is definitely something that I need to get better at. It's on one of my items on my list for automations is to make my backups a little more robust, so they're running more frequently on a schedule now. Let's see. Excuse me, man, caught a cough too. Gross. Let's see, can I update the database from here? I don't even remember how to do this. That's been too long, I gotta look it up. Every time I update databases, it's all scripted and automated. Update database, package manager console.net. Hey, the tool reference, because it's all it's not a related thing. I think it's all installed, so I just need to update. Is it just update database still? Database. It's probably not going to work. Oh, speaking of servers, I need to go. My kids have been hounding me to update my Minecraft server to be the new release that came out. I need to do that. Oh. Excuse me. SQL Server was not allowed for remote connections. SQL Server Management Studio. Should be. Maybe I don't have Windows authentication enabled. SQL01. Encrypt. Oh, this is so much different. Trust certificate. Connect. Yeah, it's not going to work for that account. Yeah, just run the scripts and bring up the instance. I should do that. I should get more in tune with it. I need to try to convince work to let me do that as at work, so I can have it on a day-to-day to get more familiar with it. Crap, it's not gonna, it requires SQL Server authentication, and I don't remember the passwords. Bugger. All right, well, that's a bust for now. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't need to log in at the moment. I'm about, whoa, don't do that. Cause yeah, I'm about done anyway. Cause I gotta get moving on some cleaning and maybe eat some breakfast. Cause I'm kind of hungry now. Oh, that would be awesome. I would like to see them. Because you know I'm not above piracy. I would like to get to the point where I can do that. I've written some in the past, but it's been, oh man, it's been a couple years. But I'd like to get to the point, if I can get to the point at work where they can let me set it up where I can build my environment, load some sample data and some like example databases, that would be phenomenal. So when I can basically develop and test that offline without being connected to VPN. I think I should do that. That might be a goal for this before the end of the year, is to get that set up. But yeah, if you wanted to share those, I would absolutely love to see them. Because that would be, I think that would be super useful. Yep, I will do that. I will take a note to do that, and I will probably do that maybe later today when I get back on my computer. About a boot, spinning a boot, Docker configs / scripts. It's on my list. Oops, that I tried to just delete. Oops. I will most definitely do that. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna stop there. That's gonna be good enough. I do need to kind of play around with the authentication stuff. But I got to get my server. Well, maybe I'll work on making it work in Docker, and I won't even bother having that SQL server on the network. That would be kind of cool. So yeah, I'm going to save this, close it. I don't need my automations open anymore, or any of these. Let's see. Add all. Oh man, things are a little slow this morning. On my hard, oh, I got backups running. Never mind, that's why it's slow. Commit m. And go, maybe. Oof, yeah. Go. I probably don't have my git config set up correctly. Or my, not my git config, my ignore. So I probably just sent all the built crap to. Ugh, oh well, that's a future Kyle problem to fix. All right, well, I think, yeah, I'm going to call it quits there. I'm going to go get some breakfast, go do some housework, and then, yeah, I'll probably ping you on Discord later, TB, and I will hopefully work on getting that stuff set up. So that's it for me. I will see everybody later. Thanks, man. You too. Have a good day. Have a great weekend and a great Mother's Day. Yep. See you later. Bye.